You picture it perfectly. Dark room, music shaking the walls, a line outside stretching down the sidewalk. $20 drinks that cost $2 to make. On paper, it looks like the easiest fortune in hospitality. People pay to get in, they pay again to drink, they pay to skip the line, they pay the most for a table just so everyone can watch them spend. If you only looked at the markup on a bottle, owning a nightclub seems like legalized money printing. But here's what the spreadsheet doesn't show you. A nightclub is not really selling alcohol, it's selling status, density, the feeling that tonight, inside your room, matters more than anywhere else. And that is a fragile product. The moment the room looks slightly less full, slightly less exclusive, or slightly less relevant, the economics change immediately. Rent doesn't care, payroll doesn't care, insurance doesn't care, but the crowd does. And once the crowd moves, the money moves with it. Every Friday and Saturday, the city votes on whether your room is still worth overpaying for. When the answer is yes, the cash feels absurd. When it becomes maybe, the decline starts faster than most owners can survive. So what are you actually buying when you buy a nightclub? Not a bar with louder speakers. A nightclub is a short-duration, high-intensity cash extraction machine built around crowd psychology. It monetizes every social instinct in the room, the desire to skip the line, to be seen, to stand near the center, to make a purchase others can watch. In a normal bar, people pay for drinks. In a nightclub, they pay for position. A neighborhood bar charges $12 for a cocktail. A nightclub charges $25, and customers expect it. A bottle of vodka costing the venue $40 wholesale sells for $800 to over $1,000 at a table. Premium packages in top markets reach tens of thousands in one night. From the outside, it looks like the closest thing hospitality has to a gold mine. Buy cheap alcohol, sell expensive status, repeat. But let's talk about what happens before opening night. Nightclub ownership is one of the most front-loaded businesses in entertainment. Location comes first. You can't hide somewhere cheap. You need nightlife districts, downtown cores, tourist corridors, wealthy neighborhoods. The same areas that attract crowds also attract brutal rent. And once a landlord hears nightclub, the terms get harsher. Larger deposits, stronger guarantees, tighter leases, higher effective rent. You're not just renting square footage, you're paying for the right to create controlled chaos inside someone else's building. Then comes the build-out. This is where first-time owners get hit by reality. A nightclub needs serious electrical work for lighting, sound, refrigeration, point of sale, industrial HVAC to cool a packed room, reinforced restrooms, security cameras, fire suppression, acoustic treatment, staging, booths, lighting controls. Mid-size clubs easily spend $1 to $3 million before opening night. One famous Las Vegas club reportedly cost $100 million. Expensive rooms signal expensive experiences. Then, licensing. A nightclub without a liquor license is just a dark room with speakers. In many cities, getting that license is political. Zoning approval, background checks, police review, community board hearings. In some places, licenses are capped. You're not applying, you're buying access. That can cost hundreds of thousands before your first drink is served. By opening night, you may be several million deep. Only now do we get to the part everyone imagines first, how the club actually makes money. First stream, cover charges, the cleanest money in the business. 700 people at $30 each is $21,000 before the bar starts moving. But cover depends entirely on perceived demand. Hot clubs raise cover and still build lines. Weak clubs waive it just to keep the room from looking empty. Second stream, the bar. Margins look huge on paper, but paper isn't reality. Bartenders overpour, staff give free drinks, inventory gets mishandled, spilled, stolen. Busy environments create leakage. A nightclub can appear to be printing money while quietly bleeding profit. Third stream, bottle service. This is where the economics become genuinely unusual. Customers pay primarily for symbolism. The alcohol matters less than where the bottle sits, how visible the purchase is, and whether the buyer feels elevated.
A nightclub slices its floor plan into layers of status and sells each layer differently. General admission buys access, the bar buys speed, VIP buys separation, premium VIP buys visibility. The most expensive tables aren't the most comfortable, they're the ones everyone can see. A 10-person group may spend $10,000 in a section, not for the alcohol, for the sparklers, the bottle parade, the elevated platform, the crowd's attention. For many clubs, a small portion of floor plan generates a wildly disproportionate share of revenue. The room isn't monetized by size, it's monetized by hierarchy.
Now the other side of the ledger, labor. A nightclub needs staff at speed, in darkness, under pressure. Bartenders, barbacks, hosts, security, managers, cleaners, lighting techs, sound techs, servers, promoters. Payroll isn't spread across the week. It's concentrated into a few critical nights where failure is instantly visible. And labor isn't just a cost, it's part of the product. Slow bar, guests buy less. Chaotic door, the line looks disorganized. Weak security, risk rises. Sloppy bottle service, high-paying guests don't return. Then talent. Music isn't background, it's a pricing tool. A house DJ keeps costs manageable, but may not drive demand. A local name costs a few $1,000s. A major touring DJ costs tens of thousands for one night. Management is effectively buying demand by paying for names. A full room with expensive talent may be less profitable than a smaller room with the right crowd. Then promoters, the most important and least stable part of the business. They function as outsourced demand generators. They bring social circles, influencers, the bodies that make a room feel alive. They're paid flat fees, per-head commissions, or percentages tied to tables. A meaningful share of your crowd may not belong to you. It belongs to the promoter who can redirect it next month. That creates a weakness hiding under the floor. The room is yours. The pipeline feeding it may not be. Then comps. Free entry for attractive guests, free tables for celebrities, free drinks for people whose presence improves the room. Comps create a dangerous illusion. A packed room may contain many people who contributed little revenue. They're there to signal desirability. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it creates the appearance of success while quietly lowering real yield per guest. Occupancy is not profitability. A nightclub can be full and still underperform. Too many low-spend guests dilute the room. Too few make it feel empty. The owner is constantly solving a social equation that changes every single night. And here's the deepest fragility. A nightclub's core product isn't physical, it's relevance. The same room with the same bar and same speakers can produce wildly different outcomes depending on whether the city believes it matters. Demand is reflexive. People come because others are coming. High spenders buy tables because the room looks desirable. If one piece weakens, the others weaken with it. Decline can feel sudden, even when warning signs were building for months. The line gets shorter, guest lists get softer, table minimums get quietly reduced, promoters ask for better deals, high-value customers notice the club feels like it's trying too hard. The music still plays, the bar still pours, but the pricing power that once allowed absurd markups begins to erode. And once that erodes, the fixed burdens don't care. Rent, insurance, security, labor, debt, utilities, licensing, repairs, marketing, legal costs, none go away. Some rise because declining clubs spend more trying to force demand back. Owners mistake a relevance problem for a marketing problem. They assume more promotion recreates social gravity. Sometimes it works briefly. Usually it just makes the decline more expensive. Let's put numbers on it. A club doing $12 million a year, 4 from tables, 4.5 from the bar, 1.5 from cover, the rest from events and brand deals. 18% operating margin in a strong year. Healthy.
Now, revenue falls 20% to $9.6 million because a competitor opens nearby. Costs don't fall 20%. Rent is fixed, insurance is fixed, payroll is semi-fixed. Security and utilities shrink slightly, but not nearly enough. Healthy profit collapses into break-even or worse. A modest decline in perceived relevance produces a disproportionately large decline in actual profit. Then maintenance. Drunk people destroy buildings. Floors scratch, upholstery tears, bathrooms take beatings, lighting fails. The room ages physically faster than owners expect. In Nightlife, cosmetic wear reads as market wear. Tired booth leather, dated entrance, old lighting design. The city doesn't say your budget is tight, it says your club fell off. Then legal risk. Intoxicated guests fight, they fall, they drive. If a visibly drunk guest leaves and causes harm, the lawsuit can be worth more than a lifetime of their spending. Add underage risk, fake IDs, noise complaints, overcrowding, police scrutiny. Insurance for Nightlife is expensive for a reason. Studio 54 opened in New York in 1977. Celebrities, models, musicians, financiers, everyone wanted in. Millions in revenue, untouchable from the outside. Federal investigators eventually raided it. Tax charges followed. Founders pleaded guilty to tax evasion. The crowd was real, demand was real, the line was real. The business underneath was fragile. Popularity and durability are not the same thing. So, does owning a nightclub work? Optimistic scenario? Right location, controlled build-out, clean licensing, intelligent room design, good crowd mix, tight inventory, no major incidents, strong promoter relationships without dependency? Margins can be excellent, returns that look extraordinary compared to an ordinary bar. Pessimistic scenario? Overpay to build, crowded market, rely on discounts for buzz, depend on outside promoters, underestimate insurance and labor, assume the room stays hot longer than it does. Then a newer club opens, the economy softens, one ugly incident damages reputation, the city tightens enforcement, best spenders migrate somewhere fresher. Now you're defending yesterday's cost structure with today's weaker attention. That's when the glamour disappears and the math takes over. A nightclub is not a bar, it's not a music venue, it's a machine for converting social urgency into high-margin purchases for a few compressed hours. When urgency is real, the economics are incredible. When urgency fades, the same room becomes one of the most expensive kinds of empty real estate in the city. If you ever decide to own a nightclub, understand what you're actually buying. Not liquor inventory, not speakers, not nightlife in the abstract. You're buying a temporary claim on relevance in a market where relevance decays quickly and costs stay stubbornly real. When it works, everyone notices the spending. What they don't notice is how much of that spending depends on a social illusion staying intact week after week. The margins can look insane, the cash can move fast, the room can feel invincible, but underneath, the model rests on one unstable assumption, that enough people will keep believing tonight matters most inside your doors. The moment that belief weakens, the music still plays, the lights still flash, the bottles are still cold, but the economics have already started turning against you. So, look at your own dream. Whatever you're chasing, ask yourself what you're really buying, the asset or the story. The story is powerful. It will make you overpay. It will keep you holding on when the numbers tell you to let go. See the story for what it is, then decide with your eyes open. This is the psychology of owning a nightclub. This is the psychology of owning anything. This is the way.